Roll call?
Councilor Wayman.
Here.
Councilor Matthews.
Here.
Councilor Larson.
Here.
Councilor Kinkley.
Here.
Mayor Swanson.
Here. Report from department heads.
We had a couple water breaks. One was we fixed last week. That was in between the roads of Sharon and France and Jones Mercer.
Oh, wow.
We got that fixed, and then we also just fixed a water break yesterday, which was in between Forest, France, Whiteside, and Woodbridge. But those problems have been fixed on. Everything's running good.
Was it main or just small leak or what?
One yesterday was a curb stop that cracked and broke,
Oh, okay.
and then the other one was main.
Are we getting to the point where we should be thinking about having people keep their water running a little bit, or no?
So. I've been paying attention to the temperature down at the garage of the water, and we're at 52 degrees.
Okay.
Last year when we started really having the problems, we were at 34 degrees.
Right,
So
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Degrees higher.
pretty safe, but if anyone's worried, they can test their water and check the temperature. If you're getting down to 34, which I don't really think anyone's gonna be even close, but if it is, then they're probably gonna wanna think about running it, but I really don't think we're gonna run into that problem this year.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
How deep was the frost yesterday?
Frost yesterday was about 3 feet,
3? Okay.
2.5, something. We didn't exactly measure it, it's just like eyeball.
Deep enough.
Yeah. Deep enough to make it hard for us to dig.
Yeah, okay.
Anything else going on?
Stop coming and fix those.
Anything else going on?
No, everything's been pretty good for us.
Okay. You talked at one point about maybe getting a computer and starting that.
Yeah, that's something that we'd like to see eventually because, well, all of our records right now are in a book that's tattered and fallen apart, and they're hand drawings from the 60s, some of the stuff.
Right.
And so I'd like to modernize and get a computer system in there for GPSing, and then we've also, and I don't know, I think it'll be coming up later, but possible computer training, safety training, opposed to having someone else come and train us, but
Yeah.
we're still looking at that.
Well, it's good time now with not a lot of snow coming down. Have a little more time to get going on
Yeah.
something like that, maybe.
It
Might want to
would
look
be
at
nice
it.
to get a computer and just start
But you,
cataloging all of our stuff in a computer instead of just files and papers.
but you feel like you need some computer training first to,
Or I don't,
No.
maybe one of our employees would need a
Oh, okay.
computer training, but
okay.
I'm pretty good at computers, so.
Did you want to get us some prices on some stuff and come back to us
We're
with
gonna
it?
start looking next week, to be honest, just to
Okay,
figure out
good enough.
exactly what we need
Sure.
and so forth, and
That
we should have
sounds good.
something maybe at the next meeting or
Okay.
the one after that.
Yeah, might as well make it easier.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Sounds good. All right, thanks. Fire and ambulance, engineering, attorney. Do you have anything for us tonight, Todd? Or?
I don't have anything specific. I just have gone through the lease that Mike has referenced within the materials for tonight's meeting, as well as kind of reviewed quickly the city codes. First with the lease, the housing code. But first with the lease, I agree. I guess my take is I agree that there should be a committee formed. In talking with the other side a couple of weeks ago, this is just, they're just doing this to kind of get the ball rolling. And so they're not expecting any prompt or quick response. We don't have to feel like we're under any pressure here, time-wise or any otherwise. So I totally agree with Mike's suggestion that we form a committee for purposes, that there be a committee formed for purposes of negotiation, and perhaps to engage someone with specific expertise in the specific related to the pricing structure that's contained within the lease, because I can tell you that I don't know most of what that means within that section. I'm not an expert in this, so that's certainly something that probably should be talked about with respect to getting maybe some outside help. But beyond that, I agree with Mike's suggestions for that. With the code, I reviewed it quickly in the last day or so. It seems like, in general, it's a code that, is worthy of consideration. There's obviously going to be some tweaking, I think, and perhaps some reduction in size relative to the size of Perham, to the size of a city of Buhl. But again, Mike, I think, did a nice job in finding a similarly situated city from which we can draw to have at least the beginning framework of a code that we would like to have for the city. So that's it.
Thank you, Todd. Long-range planning and zoning.
April 14th.
Okay. Recreation Board, Library Board meets Thursday night. Vita, we met and selected officers, and we looked at something that's in our packet, that lease for iron, and that's pretty much it.
Did the leases for the next year?
Yep. Sheriff?
You have the report, I assume. I emailed it to Mike yesterday morning. The only thing I have is to remind the council that of the campground issues. I mean, I thought we could maybe begin to talk about it now when things are quiet otherwise, but I think, well, we talked about the condition of the campground and how its poor condition caused some people to think that there are no rules and that sort of thing. And I'd like for the council to think about maybe improving the roadway into the campground, gravel that pathway so that it looks like more of an organized campground. It's still rustic, of course, and I'm sure you want to keep it that way, but when the road is as rutted and bad as it is, it just looks like nobody cares. And that draws people that think that nobody's going to check on them. So, and that, of course, we've had that issue there, so.
Good point.
Mike, can we hit up the DNR, see if they can cough up some material or money
We'll
for
give it a
us?
shot, yep. I'll just let you know also, though, I guess now the Wasabi Trail, because it's by there, gets to get sales tax from our campground.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. So we're
does
gonna have to
that-
keep better
yeah.
records of our $7 a night. And
How does that work?
I have no idea, it's a state statute.
You gotta be kidding.
Oh, boy.
No, I just heard about it. We have to pay for last year, so we have to go back and
Go through the
go
records and
through all of our
see.
little envelopes and see how many we had.
Well, pay for all 3 people we had. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
You have anything else?
I have nothing else.
Thank you, Sergeant. Council's addition to the agenda?
This will be added on to our billing. This was late.
Yeah, the Minnesota Power, we'll just add that on to Bill. You all had a chance to see that. Citizens Forum, persons wishing to address the council? Gloria?
Hi. I'm Gloria Nash-Castle, for some of you who might not know me. My husband and I recently found out about a piece of property that's located on the very northeast side of town, directly east of the France location property, that we're interested in, and we just found out that the city of Buhl owns that property. I've talked with Mike a little bit about it, and he's been researching it to see what the description is. I did find out a little bit on the St. Louis County site. I have some printouts, and I know you've been provided a map. So I don't know what you found out, Mike, since I talked with you earlier. I do have a legal description here, the one that, I have a parcel code on the map.
Yeah, we have that.
And you
so,
have that?
yeah.
Okay. So we're interested in buying it if the city is interested in selling it, depending upon clear title and, things like that.
Oh, you still got a little more to look into on that, right, Mike?
What I would like to do is do a title search on it, just to make
Yeah.
sure. I mean, the maps and so forth basically is, as you can see there, is about 5-6 acres. If you look at the description of it, it's
Yeah.
1.68
Yeah.
acres. So there's something fishy here.
Right.
So I think that'd be the first thing we should do anyway before we think about doing anything else, is just make sure we have a clear title to all this.
Gene, I'm kind of thinking maybe you were on the council back then, because it looks like it was purchased in '96.
It was purchased in '96.
We were talking about that earlier, and I can remember back when Jim Larson from the Minnesota Vikings was gonna buy Buhl Water, and they were gonna relocate a water plant out there so they're closer to the deal. And then that microbrewery also had interest in that property at one time.
Okay,
And that's why it didn't get sold any further for housing.
okay.
So,
I do kind of remember something about the Buhl water, but I didn't remember the microbrewery. Okay.
Mike, do you remember offhand how much of a right of way is on that railroad deal?
Oh,
Do you remember offhand?
50 feet, I think is what it is.
Is that
It's
much?
50
eh?
feet,
yeah, it's more than what
Yeah.
it would be in the city.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Have you found out anything other than what we've mentioned?
No, that's about it, really. It's just more of a question right now of just making sure we have a clear title to it. That's all I'm worried about right now.
Okay.
We would hate to sell it to you and then then you find out.
Yeah, yeah.
Is some of that acreage then, Mike, included in the road and this back side?
Yeah, there's that little bit here. It kind of goes across the road, but there is that easement close, so.
And then this road here is included in the back?
Yeah, in the front and the back, yeah, so that would have to be kind of split off
Split
too.
off.
So are you referring to the little section, the other section that cuts across the old railroad grade?
No, I think what he was talking about was the, behind the houses that are already there and in front of them.
Okay.
It'd be the actual street in front, looks like was part of that property.
Yeah,
Gloria, do you have this map that we're looking at?
I believe I do.
No?
Yeah, a little bit
I have a little different one than you do.
Yeah, if you look at that, the one that we're looking at, you see how it goes behind all the houses back there? Behind
plus-
all those properties?
Yeah.
Plus in front.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw that today when I was looking at it too. It looks
Yeah,
like,
so that's kind of a question.
That
And even the
parcel-
front road, I mean, I wonder if that's all, that's gotta be right of way back and in front.
You would think. It'd almost pay to have a surveyor come in.
well, what would have to be, especially to decide what, what we could sell and what we, 'cause
Right.
we don't want to sell the back of the house, where the house people live.
so on the back side of all of the lots that we all once leased from the DNR, there's that little piece back there and it narrows as you head west.
Right.
I think when we leased that property, we leased that area as well, but once we purchased it, they were made into lots, and then the city kept that section back there. So that looks like it goes all the way,
I could
I
see
didn't
what the
realize
city
it
would
was
want
part
to
of the
for right
parcel
of
code
way.
though.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
is.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
it's
too.
it's a
Yeah.
weird
Right
little
away.
little
Yeah,
strip.
there'd be no reason
Yeah,
to sell
and we wouldn't
that
want that.
because, yeah.
I don't think, as long as it's already included here, I don't think the mining corporation's had anything to do with it. Right?
No.
We'd have kept it as a right of way for the city
Right.
for utilities and
Utilities,
stuff.
Sure.
what have you, yeah.
I'm gonna meet with our engineers tomorrow too
Sure.
on the different things, so
Ask them about that,
I'll
yeah.
bring this up at the same time and see what he
Okay.
thinks.
And plus, make sure it's free title and all that stuff too. It'll take a little bit, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Is anyone able to do you have any thoughts as to whether, as long as there is clear title and everything is okay with the property, are you interested in a possible sale?
I have no problem with it.
I would not have a problem.
Are you talking about that back part too as well, or?
I would be, actually, we'd be looking at the directly east of the very last lot there in town.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it looks like it goes across.
Yeah, just that little bit there, that little triangle.
That might be 10, 15 feet there. That's about
It looks like it may go across here where this old railroad grade comes across. So it goes down here, this pie shape.
Triangle.
And then it actually looks like there's a piece of property right here as well. I don't know for sure. That's why I need to have somebody, take a
Right.
look and see what,
Yeah,
we're
I
not really
agree.
sure. Thank you.
Yeah, you
But yeah, I
bet.
think
All right.
we're at the city, they'll check into this anyway, one way or the
Sure.
other. so.
Yes. All right, thank you, Gloria.
Did anybody want me to start the process of of the title search, or?
Oh, I'll make a motion that we start the title search on that property.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Gross payroll for, regular council meeting minutes. Yeah, minutes. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the council meeting of January 20th.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Claims.
I'll make a motion to accept the claims for pay period 2 and pay period 1, and also for our extra one for the Minnesota, or for our curling club.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You take a look at the lease for the Sherman Tailings Basin. We have a little piece of land that's become interesting.
3 little different sections.
Is there
Yeah.
like a total of 51 roughly?
I think about that,
acres?
right in that area. I don't know if anybody's gone down there to take a look at
I
it.
did take a ride out there. I was a little bit not sure of exactly what
Yeah, because
pieces
it's
are
all,
ours.
it's all over the place.
I did. Yeah, they are mining back there already, and I'm not sure because it doesn't really show that access road on here.
Yeah.
But on your way in, they are actively mining that.
Now, is this the one that, am I thinking wrong? Is that the one that's going through the gate where they used to dump the sludge?
Yep.
Okay.
I know the city of Chisholm already has an agreement with this company.
Do you know if they're already buying from the city?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, then that must be their property then.
That they're taking from. And they'd like to lease from the city of Buhl for iron-bearing materials and pay us a portion for that.
Yeah, a royalty type fee based on a lot of different things.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
Brazilian,
dry metric ton.
Do you know, I mean, what, you know what Chisholm is currently charging or?
No, I do not. I just found out about this, so I haven't had a chance to talk to Chisholm yet.
Find out from Chisholm how they're monitoring the tonnage.
Yep.
You know,
Well,
just,
it says in the contract
Yeah.
that you're welcome to check and test their scales and stuff, but you have to give a 3-day notice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of,
well, yeah.
throws a bit of,
Is that the old thumb on the scale trick?
It makes you wonder why.
that's,
There's
yeah,
that. Why? Why is there a 3-day?
a lot can change in 3 days.
Isn't it a lot simpler? They used to, if they have an area like that that they're gonna dig out or what have you, they'd have somebody go in there and estimate
Take
the
some
area,
shots
volume
of it.
that's there. And they knew how many tons were in that area on the bang. That's what you,
Or after they were done
yeah. Yeah.
taking it, you reshoot it. And
Well, I
Guess
think
that'd
Mike's
give you an
got a good
idea.
idea to get a small committee to help negotiate. Would any of you be interested in serving on that?
I would.
I would too. That sounds good. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that Paul and Stu be on a committee to,
Along with Mike?
along with Mike, to look over the, and
We
Mr.
want an
Deal,
attorney with us on
Yeah.
this one.
Okay.
to look over this lease for the Sherman Tailings Basins.
Support.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Going on the grader. Did you get any more estimates for us, Mike?
No, I didn't. Ziegler just doesn't seem to want to do it, so.
Haven't heard from them. And Nortrax, did you contact them, Trent?
Only Nortrax I was finding was in Duluth and Grand Rapids.
In Grand Rapids.
Oh.
I even looked too, and there's only 2 places we could
Yeah, I think
find.
they closed the one in Virginia.
I guess I got one comment on this. Number one, in this town with our narrow streets, that wing is not gonna work. We're gonna have problems with cars on the streets, and I don't think it's worth spending the $3,500 to $4,000 to do it. That's just my opinion, but,
It's a retractable wing, though.
yeah, but what I'm saying, you're limited in the area that you can use it. Okay, you can use it down in Pennsylvania. The other part's county. Otherwise, our regular streets here in town, you're not gonna be able to.
State Street. Really think
There's a
we're-
few.
No.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence because I see the problem. There's some spots that would be good and there's others that would be, and I did, because I've never ran a grader with a ring, or a wing, I've been in graders, but there is a visibility issue when the wing is up.
Yeah. And I know he's ran it before when they had the wing before, on the old one,
Who's that?
Gene has. And he says that wing is, he said it's more of a deficit than a,
My thoughts on it would be, it's gonna cost us quite a bit to put it on because all the hoses are probably dry rotted, cracked, they're probably just gonna blow right away. You're gonna have to replace the cables on it because they're probably rusted up. But once you got the initial cost of it back to there, it probably wouldn't be bad because the city guys should be able to put it on themselves.
Right.
I would think in town it would be very beneficial for them to have it instead of running up and down the streets 4 times. And then they wouldn't have to push snow in people's yards with the loader, you know? And like down on the entrance road, it would be faster cleanup there.
the entrance.
East end, west entrance up the highway is
Yeah,
city.
but county takes care of that in state.
No. They take care of the one up at the shortstop. The one down there by the nursing home is a trade-off deal. City.
Oh, I've seen the county on that, that's why I'm,
Yeah.
for it.
And from November to April or something, city takes care of the snow cleanup on it.
Well, all I know is that it seems like the way things have been going with the equipment we have right now, actually, there's not an overkill as far as a lot of plowing. The only time there's extra plowing is when there's been cars in the way.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, with the reduction in workforce, and I kept hearing from an operator in Hibbing, that was a big proponent of doing this. And I've talked to a couple different equipment operators and they say the same thing. They see it as beneficial, but
Every grader in northern Minnesota that plows snow has got a wing on it.
well, there's a place too, they bought a new grader and they can't plow their alleys anymore because they weren't thinking,
Tibbs City Reading does a lot of that now with their loader too, like we do. But
Trent, what's your, oh, sorry.
As the operator, I would prefer not to have it. There's many times where I come across, these streets are narrow, they got a car here and a car here. I'm barely able to get that blade in to actually be able to sneak through. When you get a wing on there, we've taken measurements, and it's gonna stick out an extra 2-3 feet that you can't actually be able to see, because you're gonna have stuff in your windows, you're not gonna be able to see the visibility. So I know that when I'm I always call it getting skinny. To get in between the two vehicles, I'm barely able to make it, and I have good visibility when that's happening. And then, I guess I would rather not see it go on.
would you be willing to try it for a year?
Well, the thing is, when you do say that, then you have to think about, let's say it really doesn't work out good and visibility is a problem, then you're spending that money on an experiment, basically. But that's for you guys to decide on that.
it is a piece of equipment that would save time and money and
Well, time-wise, we have the roads open within 3 to 3.5 hours. And from what I've heard from other people, I can't say it, but I've heard that's good timing. The rest of the time that you see us going around, we're just cleaning up because people move their vehicles and try to keep other stuff cleaned up, and it's just, as far as time-wise, we get the town open pretty fast compared to others,
yes, you do.
from what I hear. I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back, I'm just saying what I've heard from other people.
But these narrow streets are like residential too, so you wouldn't really have to worry about them not as bad as like the main drags, you know.
Well,
And
like
people
you
should,
brought up of that exit over there, it doesn't take us that long to get that open at all.
no,
It's just,
but
it's 4 passes.
for
It's just-
benching and stuff, you would use it.
Oh, there's pros and cons to it. There's places that it would be really good. But then you get on some of these other streets, we got trees right on the curbs basically, so they wouldn't be able to use it completely. I know that there's ways that you can set it up, but what I've been hearing is some cities haven't even used theirs yet this year. That's just what like I said, I'm just hearing this from people. I'm not saying I got.
It's not been a very snowy winter, but
No,
it's a piece of equipment we've owned all these years and we've never put to use. Do we want to table this? Anybody want to, any further discussion?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one for me because I can see Trent's point, but I can see the, you know, the good in it too. I mean, it's a lot of money to spend if they're not gonna use it,
But if,
or if it,
and that's one thing, if people aren't counting their parking, then we need to get on that a little bit better so that they are. So they can clean one side one day, come back the next day and clean the other side.
Right. Would it be a problem getting it through if people are not blocking on both sides of the road, Trent?
oh, in that case, if there's, but it's. since
That's
I've
never
been
the
here,
case,
It's
yeah.
never the case, no.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, they can park on one side of the road, so.
Well, should we just table for now? Have a discussion on this again another time, or anybody want to make a motion on it?
Or would we be making a motion to put it on or what? Or-
Either that or no action. Either you make a motion to put it on, or we just
Take no action.
don't do anything.
I don't hear any consensus here.
would be
I don't know enough of it.
better to
What kind of
revisit it in
equipment?
the fall when, if it's something that, I mean, we're hopefully over half through
This season.
this season.
Yeah.
I don't know, where's that money come from to put the blade, to put it on?
Well, that's another thing too. We really haven't budgeted for it this year, so.
But we've got money.
Well,
We could take it out of
find it.
capital, we could
find
take it out of, yeah, the general fund. It's not that we're
It don't
short
come out
of
of
money.
an equipment fund or?
We have a capital, it's called capital fund that we put away in for equipment for all the different
Uh-huh.
departments, and there's money in there.
Okay.
It's just whether or not we want to spend it. on
I'll
this
make a
guy.
motion that we table it till fall.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Update City Code of Ordinances. It has been a while. When I saw this, Mike, I thought, yeah, I remember when we did this last. We haven't codified for,
12, 14 years ago.
yeah,
Long time.
yeah, it's,
We've had quite a few ordinances
Right.
passes, and in the books, which is why I haven't given any of the new councilors one yet, because they're a mess. I mean, they really are a mess.
Yeah. So,
My-
do you want me to bring mine here too, so you can send it in, or what? Are you gonna get new folders?
We'll get the whole new things and
Okay.
everything, so.
the only,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The only thing I was gonna say is, if we're gonna look at doing anything with rental properties ordinances, and that looks kinda like a lengthy thing, if we're gonna go through that and add any more, my idea would be to wait until we do that before we send this off. Otherwise, as soon as we get it back, we already have something that's not
Yeah,
in
then
the
we have
book.
another 15 pages to add
Yeah.
in there. I agree with you on that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, because we got that coming up, so.
So,
Sounds like a good idea, actually.
I'll make a motion, we table this till we get our renter's ordinance new filled out.
Support.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Rental ordinance. which is a nice thick little pack you gave us, Mike.
And that's from one of the smaller towns.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should see Duluth.
it is a lot to look through.
It is, yeah, and that's why I thought, just read it for a bit, maybe next week we can discuss it
Yeah.
or something. and-
At our next meeting, yeah.
And there's an idea of interpretation too. There's a couple things I read in there, you don't know which way to think on it.
Yeah,
That's where our
Vague.
attorney comes in handy, because he knows how we should think about it.
Right, you just, yeah. I have the whole thing figured out. Huh?
yeah.
All right.
Actually, I had a few questions too, so.
Okay, so do we want to table this for now? Do we need a motion to that?
Make a motion, we table the rental ordinance.
Support.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, we've been getting this nice little grant because we want to keep our guys healthy.
Yep.
Yep.
And you want to buy some healthy snacks?
Either that, well, we've used it for that before,
Yes,
and then
we
we used
did.
it for the mowing and that
Yeah.
on the bike trail. But really, all we need now is just a motion to approve getting the money.
We could use it to pay the taxes we're supposed to pay for the campground.
There you go. Yeah,
Good thinking.
Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Well, we put everything off till next meeting, guys, so it's gonna be longer than this. Have a motion to adjourn?
No.
Oh, Board of Equalization, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I missed that. Okay, does anybody want to go to this? I would say this, I went to it last time they offered it, and they told me at the meeting, they told all of us that they thought it might be the last time they had a meeting because they're looking at doing this online.
Aye, yep.
And since they'll offer it again in the fall at least,
yeah. I just brought this up just in case anybody.
but if anybody's interested in going to it,
I see that's March 24th on Cotton again.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There'll be
It's not
another
a
one in
bad meeting.
October or so. I think it was October when you went.
Yeah, it's informative, it's not, it's a good training, but,
So now you're our person for the,
yeah, I'm trained for
April.
it, yeah. So I don't know if anybody wants to go to it or wait till fall or,
Well, I'm
See how-
interested, but I think I'll probably wait till fall, maybe do it online also. March
they have it
March is one of those
available
months if
online,
you make, like, oh yeah, I'll do that now, and then you get a snowstorm in March. That is during a hockey tournament or something, so,
yeah,
but I would be interested, but at a later.
okay.
okay,
No action taken then.
all right. So now, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll support it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.